Stevie Ray Vaughan, Edward Van Halen, Steve Vai, and Randy Rhoads. What did all these legendary guitar players have in common? One thing they had in common was that they were all very driven to be the best guitar players they could be. You could even say they were relentless in that pursuit. They were focused, dedicated, practiced for hours on end, and when things got tough, they didn't stop or give up. Now, I'm not saying you need to be these guys. You don't. What you need to do is put all of your effort into being the best guitar player that you can be. And it's perfectly fine if you don't know how to get there yet. It happens to all of us, even the players I mentioned earlier. You don't have to practice for hours on end, but you do have to have discipline and the desire to meet your expectations, or defy them. You also need a way to practice that takes into account the time you have available and keeps you focused the entire time. In this video, you'll learn about a way to make consistent growth and improve multiple skills at the same time. Are you ready to get into the gym? Let's dive in. Before we get into the practice portion of this video, we need to talk about your mindset. I'm going to ask you a question, and you only need to answer that question for yourself. And that question is, what feeling or feelings do you have or associate with the word practice? It's important to answer this question because your thoughts are going to determine your actions, and your actions are going to determine success or failure. Now, if you go back to Nate's first video and remember the Valley of Despair, this is where negative feelings about practice are going to lead you. Now, I don't mean to imply that getting frustrated isn't a part of the process. It is. But you have to fight your way through that to get to the other side. At one point or another, we're all going to enter the Valley of Despair. But if you reframe your thoughts about practicing to be positive while you're there, the end result is going to be amazing. Here's a quote from Henry Ford that will tie directly into your feelings about practice. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. How you think and feel about practicing is going to let you know where you're going to go. Think of it as a GPS for your guitar skills. When you frame your thoughts in that way, you're going to see exactly how your thoughts and feelings are going to dictate the results that you get. Let's talk about having and keeping an organized practice routine. Here are some things that you're going to need so that you can stay focused and on track while you practice. A timer. I recommend getting a timer that you can program instead of using a stopwatch. You're going to want to set rounds just like you would during a workout. You'll also want to set breaks between your segments. You'll need a way to keep track of what you practiced that day and for how long. And there's going to be a blank practice circuit as well as a sample category list that you can download to help you with this. You're also going to want to have a metronome. And remember, when you're practicing something either for the first time or if it's something that you don't quite have down yet, keep the speed down. This is going to help you watch what you're doing and also look for things that need to be fixed. There is a time to speed things up, but right now isn't that time. Now let's talk about setting up and organizing your practice. What I'm going to use for this video is just an example. You can set this up however you like. This is going to be a setup similar to how you would do a circuit training workout at the gym. And here's what it looks like. There are going to be 4 rounds on this sheet. Each round is going to be used to train a different musical muscle. For this example, I'm going to use a scale, but you aren't going to practice that scale in the same old way. You're going to use several different approaches to really lock that scale shape in and be able to make music with it. Here's how it works. You're going to set your timer for anywhere between 1 to 5 minutes. Now 1 to 3 minutes is usually more ideal because your mind may start to wander after minute 3. You're going to set 15 to 20 second breaks between each segment, and you want to program between 1 to 4 segments per round. In this example, there are 4 rounds and each round has between 1 and 4 segments. It is helpful if you set each segment to be progressively more challenging than the one that came before it, but you don't have to do that. The idea here is to get away from practicing things the exact same way each time that you practice. Round 1 is a scale, but what you're going to do with the scale varies. At first, you'll play the scale and say the name of the notes. After that, you'll play a 2-string scale exercise and name the notes as you play them. Lastly, you're going to play the same scale sequence, but play the notes out of order while still naming the notes as you play them. Now on to round 2. Here you will add rhythmic elements to the scale. Here you can play the entire scale shape, play sequences from the previous round, or a combination of both. Round 3 focuses on legato and isolating the ascending and descending parts of each scale before combining them. And lastly, for round 4, you use a backing track. The goal here is to create short 3 or 4 note phrases while also using combined elements from the previous 3 rounds. I'd recommend using a little more time here, maybe 2 to 4 minutes. Up to you. If you total all that up, assuming that your rounds are 1 to 4 minutes, along with a 2-minute jam track round, you're looking at a total of 13 minutes practiced. When you're done, you can either repeat the same circuit, or you could add a second circuit, practice that, and then rotate between the two. And this depends obviously on how much available time you have that day or that moment. The great thing about practicing this way is that you can't help but stay focused and on track because of the short practice time. Again, this circuit is only an example of what you can do. Try it out and let us know how it's working out for you. If you have any questions or need help getting organized, drop a comment or send me a message and I will help you get started. One quick thing. This practice circuit is going to pair really well with Nate's juggler exercise. Don't rush it. You can break down each piece into its own practice round before combining elements. If you haven't watched that video yet, go ahead and check it out. And I'll leave you with another quote from Henry Ford. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. Have fun with this practice circuit and be prepared to watch your playing improved. I'll see you in the next video.